evening, everyone. Welcome to the show. You're watching Seeing the Unseen with Christopher LaPrath, who you just saw for a second by sort of mistake. So, thanks for tuning in. First off, it's a truly wonderful show tonight. The title I really like. I really like it. It's Darn, which normally, Christopher will tell you all about it here momentarily. But my quick thought on it before I get to a quick piece of housekeeping for anyone out there who might be joining us for the very first time. But it's that in the process of darning ourselves in the best possible way, a good place to start is by acknowledging amazing things about ourselves. And it can be something simple like, oh, I don't mind driving in traffic anymore. That to me is really amazing. Like it's fine, like I can just deal with it and it's not a big deal. Like construction, whatever, it's fine. So that didn't used to be the case. And that I feel like, is worth something. So I hope you all have lots and lots of amazing things that are easy to discover. And they do get easier to discover the more you start to look for them. So that being said, for anyone who's out there joining us for the very first time, be sure to say something in the chat so I know you're here. Even if it's not your first time, still say something. First time, of course, there's no charge going forward after that. It's $10 per reading, or you can pay $100 and cover the entire month, which I feel like is a pretty sweet deal since we run 3 times per week. That's Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday at 6 p.m. So thanks so much for listening. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show. Here's Christopher.
Great job, Kenan. Great job. I hope you can hear that applause. I got an applause machine. So, great blessings to you. I also have a fancy new lighter that my sister Diane got me. So I'm going to use it tonight to light the incense with. It is hyphen angled. You've got a little bit of an arc here to light the incense, and it's very, very hot. I actually thought when I opened it up, I thought she bought me a taser because it looks so very futuristic, right? But you press the little button and there's like a arc of light that goes through that lights the incense. So it's the perfect size. Great blessings to you. This show tonight is about serenity. So with the incense being lit, I give you serenity and peace, because as this time on earth with Christmas, it is to bring the Christ consciousness in, to bring peace on earth. But the peace begins with you, because you're here on earth. What is true in the microcosm is true in the macrocosm. So because we missed Sunday and Monday for the show because of Christmas, I want to be able to pull a few more cards for each of you. So the show may go a little bit longer. If you have to leave, that's fine. You can always rewatch it and fast forward through it till we get to you, and be able to cover the information in that way if you do have to go. But I wanted to spend a little bit more time because it is the end of the year. And this card that came up, the group card that came up, really ties in with the theme of the show. And Kenan said it about darning yourself. We've all had the darndest things happen in our lives. Now, we can continue to darn those things, but the actual word darn, your grandma used it a lot. Maybe your great-grandmother. Darn comes from the Middle French word meaning to mend. So you can use darning yourself as cursing yourself, or being annoyed at things that happened in the past or even that happen today. Or you can use that to mend yourself, to change the energy around it. So there are energetic fields that surround us. So let me give you an example. Dr. Jared and Kat texted me, and I want to read you their text, if you don't mind, Jared. This was today at 8 o'clock. And he writes, "Can cats teleport?" We're in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, basically Dollywood area. Last night I was awakened 4 different times to the massaging feeling of a cat as they're trying to show affection or prep their sleeping area. They take their front paws, massage back and forth. It was on each side of my leg, and I felt them with both legs. Funny thing is, Kat felt the same thing at different times throughout the night. She was awakened multiple times with that massaging cat-like action as well. And both our cats were left at home about 3 hours away. The universe is stranger than we can think. So, especially with animals, if they're used to our energy field, it's how dogs know that we're on our way home. They can sense it. There's an energy field around us all the time. And so these things that happen to us in our lives, especially like the traumatic things, they can stay within our field and activate us when we sense something is happening that's very similar to what happened 30 years ago. So this show is all about clearing that field so that you are more you, and that your field is clear and clean. And if something drops on the floor, your floor is clean enough that you can eat off of it. There's no 3-second rule, because you know your floors are clean. It's like it doesn't have an effect on you as it normally would. And that's about clearing this energy field. So darn can mean to mend, or it can be an expression of annoyance or surprise. But this is about changing the energy around it and how you think about it. For instance, my past breakups with the relationships. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't know what I know. I wouldn't be able to be even in this show. There are so many factors that I can look back on that relationship breaking up, even though at the time was really hard. Now, when I look back on it, I'm like, thank the maker. I darned it. I mended it. And so all of those things, even those traumatic things, people passing away, there's something that we can mend, and looking at things in a different way. Like Kenan was talking about, traffic doesn't bother him anymore. It just doesn't. It's just simply not in your field anymore at all. And moving those energetic expressions and energetic occurrences out so that they never return. And so I have a degree in psychology, and many of you that have studied psychology know about multiple personality disorder, where when people change personalities, they can write with their other hand. Maybe they were right-handed. They change personalities and they're left-handed. Medication affects them differently. One personality does not have diabetes. The other personality does have diabetes. It's an incredible thing that is not really understood, but this is about clearing those fields or those things that happen around us. And that's what the group card is tonight. It's called the Heart of Source. And it's the all-encompassing love. It's this serenity that you're blessed with this tonight and moving forward into the coming year. That we're always connected. We're absolutely always loved. And to absolutely love who we are, and to really look at loving the things that we've been through. Because without those, we wouldn't be who we are. We wouldn't have what we know. we wouldn't be able to experience maybe fully what we're experiencing now. And then when you look at that and those things are mended from the past, then any traumatic event that happens recently or today or in the future can also be, okay, there's something good behind this. There's a mending behind this that is occurring because it's an expansion of consciousness, an expansion of awareness that there's more to us. There's more to life that can be explained. You can be 3 hours away from your cats and have them still massage you at night. Are you listening, Marilyn? So I just think that there's just this incredible mystery and incredible knowingness that's going to be coming for you this year, more of a growing and in-depth awareness of you, the universe, and the universe inside you. Okay, we've got Marilyn Pitts up first, right?
You got it.
All right. Yeah, it's exactly, you're right, Melinda. It's funny how those things change us, right? Okay, my dear Miss Pitts, here we go. And we'll be pulling, like I say, a few cards for each of you. It's interesting. So, I'm not a computer geek. Kenan does have his degree in cybersecurity engineering. But quartz crystals are used, they're said to contain information. And it's a matter, Marilyn, of you really trusting your intuition. Are Abby and Marilyn on tonight?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to defer a little bit of this to Miss Abby as well. It's about trusting in holding, like for instance, in holding a crystal, Marilyn, because I know Larry got you this beautiful moon for Christmas, which was really amazing. If any of you are friends with Marilyn on Facebook, she posted a picture of her husband getting her this luminescent moon. Anyway, it's a matter of if I need a minute, or if you need a minute to clear your field, or you have something confusing or traumatic or whatever it is, I use essential oils and I use crystals. So just intuitively grab a crystal and sit with it, Marilyn. There's a reason you're ordering and getting the crystals that you're getting. Trust your intuition. This card is about, it's called narrowness, but it's about it's like making Christmas candy. You know, you boil the sugar and you boil the water down till it makes this really, really thick syrup. That's what this is like. It's like boiling down the doubt and trusting this intuition. Your focus is getting much stronger. Your
She just said that. She says that she feels like she's focusing more. It's hilarious.
Yeah, she just said you feel like you're focusing more. Kenan just told me in the chat that you put that there, and you really are. So trust that. Trust it. This is so funny. Because then you've got the oppression card, which is exactly what we're talking about. It's mending. Oh, I got to share this experience with you. This will help understand, Marilyn. So going back, like my divorce or my breakup, it was really hard to go through, but I'm actually free now. So you can use that, noticing that as a springboard rather than a calamity. So your field, this oppression field that was around you, or the people were projecting into you, you go, wait a minute, that isn't mine. It's like somebody shining a flashlight at you. You can't see who's shining the flashlight, but if you move out of the light, if you move out of the beam, it's not on you. That's what you're doing, is you're moving out of this, even more so, any type of oppression of any way, shape, or form that has been projected at you in the past. Oh, so I started to tell you about this with Kenan. He was, in his studies, one of the things that was suggested to him is, you know how when you have a dream and you wake up and you go, wow, that was really a weird dream. I wonder what that means. The other night I had a dream about beetles. So I looked it up. What is the meaning of beetles, right? But if during the waking, during the day, you see a beetle, you see a butterfly, you're drawn toward a certain crystal of yours, you have something odd that happens or something out of the ordinary, look it up. Because this is as much of a dream in this waking world as a dream at night when we're sleeping. So even Jared and Kat, the deal with the cats, look up the spiritual meaning of cats massaging, right? And it doesn't even have to be a dream, because you both experienced it at the same time. And there's a reason that the Egyptians held the cats as sacred, right? And Marilyn Pitts, you have cats and they're awesome, right? They're awesome beings. Anyway, so this is about you transforming oppression. It's like there was a reason you were a hospice nurse for so many years, is you were taking such an oppressive situation with people and families and helping them, escorting them on, right? Is Edna on the show tonight?
Yeah, and she says Paul McCartney was in her dream last night and he's a beetle.
Oh my God, so Paul McCartney was in your dream last night and he was a beetle? I'm serious.
No, I hadn't been yet, by the way.
Okay, that is wild. So you've got to look up, well, you don't have to, but you might choose to look up the spiritual meaning of Beatles and not the band. Oh my God, I love it. What is up with you, Marilyn? This is really amazing. So you've got the narrowness card, the oppression card. Now the fear card came up. So when Kenan was little, he was afraid of street sweepers because they made this terrible noise. I think I've shared this with you all on the show before. They made this terrible noise. And so we surmised that he was laying on his side and listening to the blood pumping in his, when your ears, you can kind of hear the swishing sound of your blood when you're laying on your ear. and we surmised that that was from. So we kind of changed his sleeping position. And wasn't so afraid. And then we just showed him what street sweepers actually do. You know, they don't eat children. They don't sweep up children. And then the fear dissipated. So during the show, when I read for some of you, and the card comes up, you can see me doing this, right? And I'm actually moving stuff out of your fields when I'm doing that, as I'm doing this. And I hope I have permission to do that. Most of you I do. Some of the new people I don't, because they don't know me and they're not really sure what I'm doing, and I don't do it without permission. But this is and any of you that, and the people that I do, all of you that I do this with, I've given you a personal reading, so I know it's okay. You've given me permission to do that. So Marilyn, this is so there are things, the way that I see stuff in people's fields, but some of you may not see it, but you can sense it. And so you can narrow it down. When I take this narrowness card and then the oppression card and then the fear card, there's something with your abilities evolving and moving this fear, if people give you permission, or just your presence. Like, the cleaner your field is, the more it encourages people to clean their own field. So it's not like you have to go to work on everyone's field. That would be exhausting, and it'd be like an exercise in futility anyway, because in removing stuff, they just bring it right back in if they're not aware. Anyway, look up the spiritual meaning of octopus as well. And then we'll do your reading next week, I believe, right? We'll do your personal reading, and then we'll go more into this. But this is your ability to help, I don't know if the word is remove people's fear, but there's something with recognizing the fear and being able to explain, like if Kenan being afraid of street sweepers, being able to explain the process or explain the situation more effectively so that the fear goes away. Okay, who's next?
Cat and Jared.
Kat and Jared, okay. Yeah, thank you for sharing that, you guys. I will tell you, we have had quite a few of strange experiences, have we not? So Jared, are you willing to be free of the need to make it right for people? It's not that you don't try to make it right for people, but if there's a need to make it right for people, or to concede to their demands, that's where it can get inappropriate. Or where you have experienced disappointment in the past, are you able to darn that, mend that, and go, well, what good did come from that? What can I gain from that? What is the benefit of that? And to change the energy around any and all of the disappointment, especially any disappointment of who you are, what you like, and this goes for you too, Kat. Okay, any type of disappointment of how you thought life should be, or where you're worried about where it's going because you're both really smart, right? This is the brilliance card. You're both extremely smart. But where your forte lies, and this is, I'm speaking to Marilyn Pitts and Marilyn and Abby and Melinda and everyone on the show. Where you really shine is below the mental surface. So you pay more, it's not that you don't pay attention to the mental, where you're trying to figure things out, or especially when you're running a business, right? You go through the legal, you go through the construction, you do have to use your mind. But this is going to the energetic level and going, okay, how do you want this to be? And speaking to your business like it is an entity, right? You know, and letting go of, because if you're disappointed, that brings the energy of disappointment in, and then it gets you caught up into trying to figure out something better, rather than just allowing it and going, oh, something better is coming. It just wasn't how I expected it. But the universe is much bigger and more vast than you could possibly imagine. Different flavors, different colors that you couldn't even imagine that are coming into you. So look up the spiritual meaning of diamond. What does a diamond... Can you look up spiritual meaning of diamond? There's something here with diamond for both of you. I'm seeing this. I don't know if it's a diamond shape. This is okay. What this is like is, remember, Jared, a few months ago we were talking about this yellow liquid that was coming into your life that was going to change your life. I don't know if this is a logo, but it's like this triangular shape. It's like a diamond shape, or the name diamond. it could be a construction company, the name of a construction company. It's something to do with diamond.
Almost there.
So Ken is looking up the spiritual meaning of diamond. Diamond. Their purity, illumination, and perfection. They're stones of exceptional power that can open many spiritual doors and reveal the truth. Diamonds also have healing properties that can help with emotional resilience, inner harmony, brain function, and vitality. Okay, so I'm getting really strongly for both of you to get a new diamond or to get your diamonds cleaned. Put them in salt, or you can put them in, or put them on selenite. But there's something about you're needing the energy of the diamond, because these doors are opening up for you. More spiritual doors, like the example of the cats last night, right? And then you've got this ecstasy card. So I'm pulling again. I'm switching back and forth because this feels like it's for both of you at the same time, but in a much broader sense. Like, well, you know, we could be comfortable in a 2,500 square foot home. Well, what if it's a 10,000 square foot home? How would that feel? This, and I'm using this as a metaphor. Universe, show me greater. Give me greater. Give me more. And when we all do that, this is for every one of you on the show listening right now. When we all do that, universe, show me greater. Give me greater. Give me more. It expands us. It expands our abilities. It expands our awareness. Because we're the universe. We are the universe. Okay. And then success. Success. And you're very fortunate to have one another to go, wait a minute. You know, you're in your head here. You can go with the disappointment card, but then it ends up here with success. You've just got success. And I bless every one of you with. This is the Jupiter card, right? Mm-hmm. And Jupiter is the symbol of success. Jupiter. Okay. Right, now who do we have?
Next, it's Marilyn Abbey.
Marilyn and Abby. Okay, my dears. Wow. The universe is a big place. And then there are multiple universes. So, Marilyn, let me explain this. Let me do what I can to help explain this. So there's contraction and there's expansion. When things happen or we try to figure things out, it can contract. It can contract our awareness, it can contract our understanding, it contracts the energy. What's the best thing to do is expand it, and expand it. Get a higher viewpoint of what's really going on, what the source is. So, universe, it's a model for expansion for you. How can I look at this higher? How can I look at this differently? Universe, give this to me now. You know, you joined Unity Church, and I don't really like calling it a church, but again, this is like the name Myrtle, right? Fillmore, this is the word unity. And so you know that game, one of these things is not like the other. One of these things, how does that go?
Isn't the same.
One of these things is not like the other. One of these things just isn't the same. So, right? So Marilyn, Abby, one of these cards is not just the same. So you're able to differentiate what isn't fitting, what isn't unified. That's the meaning of unity, is being able to pinpoint and eliminate what is not unifying or what isn't bringing something together. And your ability, especially with you, Marilyn, is really growing with that. Abby, you are expanding, and leave it at that. You're growing. Your abilities are there. Be free of contracting them and going, well, I don't see things like Chris does. I don't hear things like so-and-so does. That's contracting. That is contracting. Expand. Universe, bring me the party dress. Okay? I don't have to look like Madonna. I have my own party dress. I have my own way of doing things, my own way of seeing, my own gifts. Be open to those gifts in whatever form that they take. Okay. Wow. And so Christ, he loved the people, but he still overturned the money changers' tables that were in the temple. Because the money changers were using the church, or the church was using them, or, there were all the Pharisees at the time of the church. But Christ saw past that construct and loved the people, but not necessarily the dictatorship or the ego that a church can be. And again, it's not about a church being bad or wrong. I'm not saying that. But it's about really focusing on the people and doing this year another, like your book, like when you're doing Dr. Joe Dispenza's book every Tuesday night, and you're doing like a Zoom meeting, and you're going over the book. There's something else coming up around that will be more conducive to actually both of you contributing to who you are and what you have learned spiritually, emotionally, through your experiences. It's not like, it's kind of like starting your own church, but not. I'm not saying that, but it's something along those lines where you're able to have more freedom than the confines of a church. Like tonight, I started looking at doing. So I'll give you an example. I started looking a few months ago at doing a large event, 100, 200 people. And it just didn't feel right. But then I was like, you know what would be fun is to get like 10 to 15, 20 people together at like a steakhouse and doing that and actually having a really good meal together and doing these readings for people once a month or every couple of months. That felt more fun for me. So this is about what feels fun for you. And then Abby, anywhere where there's there's something with the story of this lazy monk. Where everyone, anywhere where you have felt that you're not gifted or you're not, or you're lazy, or not, the word isn't lazy, but it's like this perception from other people about this monk being lazy, but he was actually spending that time, that downtime, by getting downloads from the universe, by what appeared from the outside from other people that he was lazy. He was actually gaining insight and meditation. And so are you willing to let go, Abby, of it having to look like a certain thing for you? Or your abilities have to be a certain way? And just go, yeah, I got some juice. I got some abilities. And be free of people going, yeah, what are they? They don't need to know. Right? The lazy monk could sit there all day trying to explain why he's lazy. They don't care. They just want to project BS, right, toward the lazy monk. This is about taking your downtime, and you're very powerful in your downtime. Very powerful. And then you know what? For both of you, I've got Priestess card, and this has come up numerable many times for both of you. So I was in this church, and if there wasn't a man present, the woman had to wear a head covering. Or even if there was a male child present, the woman had to wear a head covering. Okay, again, it's one of these dogmas that that just don't fit. And any time that you're wanting to break a dogma, it can raise up ego. And you're moving way past that. You're moving way, way past that, where your connection, and allow people to come to you that will get it. That's what I do. That's why I love every one of you. It's allowing people to come to you, and there's going to be more people coming to you without you really having to do anything. Okay. All right, who's next?
So that was just Marilyn and Abby, so then Melinda is next. Mindy.
Hey, Mindy. Okay, my dear. So, Mindy, you know those herb gardens? I'd actually really highly recommend this. I'm glad you are here, Mindy. Have more live plants in your house. And it could be you can just get one of those little herb gardens and grow your own herbs to cook with, or even just to have this living plant or plants. Also, it's important for you to clean your ventilation system. And then I'm getting like working with wood. There's more wood. And I don't mean, I mean like, it's like creating things out of bark or painting on bark. I don't know if that makes any sense to you at all. Like birch bark. There's something really powerful with birch bark, or there's something with painting on trees. No, it's not painting on trees. It's using bark or wood. No, it's bark. It's bark. Okay. And then thank you for being here, Melinda, because this is fortune. Look at your fortune. Every one of you on the show, look at this Christmas time, the people you were able to spend time with, the people that were gathered around you. So Edna and I were talking. This is Melinda's sister. And she was sending me pictures. Melinda was sending me pictures of the family, but I mean, it's been a while since I've been up there, and the kids have kids who have kids. So it's kind of like, oh my gosh, how to keep up with the family gets growing and growing, right? Expanding. And Edna was telling me about this 2-year-old, and I think maybe it was Alex's little girl, Melinda, I'm not sure. But Edna was telling me that this little girl puts things down her shirt. She's 2 years old. She puts just things down her shirt here in the chest area to store things or put things. And Edna was telling me about it. She goes, you know, that's the oddest thing, because my mom, which is Melinda's mom, used to do that. She used to put her cigarettes, her matches, her jewelry, everything down in her bra area. And I was like, oh my God, I started laughing, because that really definitely showed that Thelma, my ex-sister, my sister-in-law, Melinda and his mom, was there. And she was probably influencing this little girl, going, hey, if you don't know where to put it here. That's where I learned to put things. Anyway, this is how fortunate we are to be connected to Spirit in the way that we are, with every one of us having our own really amazing gifts and pieces of jewels. You know, so Marilyn, you have pieces of jewelry, but it doesn't. If you go see Abby and you see Abby's ring, you go, "Oh my God, that's a beautiful ring," right? Or Melinda, you see Edna's pieces of jewelry that she bought. You go, "Oh, I really love that necklace." Well, it doesn't mean that you want it or you're going to take it. That's Edna's, right? That's Marilyn's. This is everyone has their own jewelry and their own way of wrapping it. You're going to start noticing this more about how you wrap and how your viewpoint and how you view the world is so incredibly powerful. Okay,
Great. Next, it's a new person, Emma Hollings.
Emma Hollings, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. Everybody welcome Emma. So what we do, Emma, is I shuffle through the deck until your card falls out. And so, Emma, thank you for being here. So this is, get some really great sage. I don't know if you've ever heard about burning sage. You can order sage on Amazon. You can clean your house with the smoke. It's an ancient Native American tradition. Getting some really good incense that you like, high-end, high-quality incense to clean your house. So, if somebody watches a lot of, like, I don't know, social media, and they watch these political upheavals, or they watch these different viewpoints between different political parties, or religious viewpoints, or whatever it is, you can get really kind of upset about it, or people spewing negativity, or even watching Karen videos, right? They're very low energy, low vibration. This is you, it's important for you to clean up the vibration of what you've been around, because you actually have some really good abilities as far as psychic goes, but you're needing to clean up the field a little bit more. And people, there are lower vibrations that have crossed over that you want to clean up around you. And sage will help. And when you burn the sage, you go, anything and everything that is not for my best and highest interest, move out now. Oh, and put salt under your bed. So take like a cereal bowl. It doesn't have to be a very big bowl, but pour salt. It can be any kind of salt. Put that under your bed, because salt is a very high vibration, and it will keep any low vibrations away. Okay, who's next?
So last tonight actually is Jeff Reynolds.
Hey, Jeff.
And she said she had a star card in the reading of his lunch. She got the really good star.
Okay. All right, so Jeff, the Fool Child. New beginnings, brand new beginnings, but it also means an ending. So they're showing me, you know how, I don't know, when we were in high school, or like we had football teams, right? And one of the ways that they used to decide who was going to do the kickoff first, not just flip a coin, but they would do a tug of war, right? So the teams would be, and whoever got pulled over the line, whoever was the strongest team would would pull the line, and then a new game could start. This is you building this team, and it's a winning team. But then it's a new beginning. So new beginnings are great, but that means the old game has to end, which is fine. It needs to end. An old way of doing things goes away. A new way of doing things comes in, and it's extremely successful. Okay. Everybody else? We got everybody?
That's everybody tonight.
We got everybody tonight. I love you all. We'll do this again. When is New Year's?
It's Sunday, Monday again. New Year's Eve and New Year's Day.
Okay. So I'm still probably going to do a show Sunday night. Even though it's New Year's Eve. It'll get our new year off to a great start. I love you all very, very much. Have a great, great week. And we'll do a show on Sunday. Have a great night.